It's Thursday afternoon, March 13th. I'm in the university neighborhood of Guimarães, the Universidad Dominio. And we're getting ready for the biggest game that Vitória has played in the last 8 years since losing the Taça de Portugal final in 2017. So why am I out around a university? Well, last night there was a bit of a hooligan incident involving Porto ultras, Real Betis ultras. I keep trying to say Betis when it's Betis. And just trying to destroy property in Guimarães, getting into fights with Vitória fans. And I understand that hooliganism is a thing in world football, but my question here is, if you're a grown adult, at what point do you stop having the primal urge to use violence on other people because they support a different football club? And even if you feel that primal urge to get into a fight, and it's really not a primal urge, it's a primate urge, because really only a gorilla would want to do that as an adult just because somebody supports a different football club. Now, as a Real Madrid fan, I don't have any urges to hit a Barcelona fan. The only time I feel any of that anger is when I see one of the many racist incidents in Spain, which I think for the most part seems to happen to black Real Madrid players. However, if you are going to have these fits of rage and want to break into violence, why don't you just not do it around a university where children are going to school? And I understand that legally speaking, a university student is an adult. When I started at St. John's University in New York, I was 17 years old. I was 2 months away from my 18th birthday, so technically I was a child. But I understand that things are different in other countries with the age where you can drink and smoke and vote, and even the age of consent. But now that I'm 46, and it's 29 years since I was a freshman at St. John's University, I can look back on those days and say, yes, I was a child. And even throughout the 4 years I was there, because when I graduated, I was 21. And you graduate college, you think you're on top of the world, you're an adult now. Well, as somebody in their mid-40s, I'm here to tell you at age 21, you're not an adult. Legally, you're an adult. Mentally, you're not even close to being an adult. So for people to want to start actual physical fights around a university, have you lost your minds? And yes, Betis fans are to blame. Sure. But they don't know that this is a university neighborhood. So really, the Porto fans are much more to blame. I give them most of the responsibility. So my question to these Porto ultras, or they go by the name casuals, and that's a good name for Porto fans because quite frankly, they're all casual. None of them have any passion. They sit there silently in the first game back at home after their president of 42 years passed away. And 40,000 of them get drowned out by 600 traveling Vitória fans. So yeah, you're all casuals. Where was the passion at that game? The only passion you want to show is getting into fights around children? And I surveyed the area I don't see any damage at the restaurant that was photographed. And that's a good thing. I guess it was more of a fight than anything, than any kind of destruction of property. But at what age do you just say, you know what, I'm too old for this shit? Well, hopefully the rest of the day, the pre-gaming, the game itself is more pleasant. But only time will tell. My name is Howie. This is Positively Portugal. Let's get into it. The castle at Estadio Dom Alfonso Beach. It is Vitória versus Real Betis. Betis. Shit, I'm never going to say that correctly. It's not Betis, it's Betis. And I got to say, not all of the Betis fans are bad. Not all of them were involved in that fight last night. In fact, one of them even gave me a Betis scarf. I'll keep that as hidden as possible, because tonight it is all about Vitória Sport Club. The winner of this game goes to the quarterfinals of the Conference League. This is the biggest game that Vitória has played in the last 8 years. And I think we're going to win tonight. Forza Vitória! I am finally home. It's been a long day, a long night. The game did not go well. Real Betis beat Vitória 4-0, and it's just one of those things where there's nothing you can do. Betis is better than Vitória in every position. There's not a single thing that Vitória does better. There's not a single part of the game that Vitória excels at over Betis. If this had happened in January or February, when we had a more talented roster, I would have accused the team of quitting. That's not what happened here tonight. The better team won, and congratulations. It probably should not have ended 2-2 in Sevilla, but I guess they didn't take things seriously enough there. And there were no problems whatsoever with the Betis fans. In fact, they were all really cool today. They were great before the game, at the game, and after the game at the bar with Vitória fans. So I don't know what happened last night, and I kind of think that this was pretty much a Porto fan thing, not so much a Betis fan thing. I think they just kind of got caught up with bad people who support Porto. Later in the day, I saw that the Super Dragões from Braga also came. And you know, it's interesting that there's a Super Dragões chapter in Braga. Why don't you support your own team? We don't have a Super Dragões chapter in Guimarães. And if we did, they would be very silent about it. One of the coolest things that happened to me today, I ran into a couple of subscribers here, Ricardo and Rodrigo. And it was great to meet you guys. Again, thank you for supporting my channel. Rodrigo suggested that I go see Vizela, and I believe I am going to do that. But you know, the truth, Rodrigo, you and Ricardo should join me for that game. But it's been a long day, and what started off with kind of a negative feel just gradually got better and better and better as the day went on, when I saw that the whole violent incident that was reported yesterday probably wasn't as bad as it seemed. And I don't think that Betis fans had much to do with it at all. So this ends Vitória's run in Europe. There are now no Portuguese clubs left in any of the European competitions. That's not the happiest thing to think of. But unfortunately, as much as I love Portuguese football, we're in a state right now where we don't really compete with the Spanish and English teams, and I only hope that one day soon that changes. So if you want more videos about moving to Portugal, the process of getting here, Portuguese football, anything Portugal related, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. These are the best things you can do to help a content creator on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching, and Força Vitória.